This is a hashtag used daily by thousands of fans, in this case of the anime manga series Chainsaw Man, to connect with the community. Now this is a Hashflag, which in the coming months will bring Chainsaw Man to never before seen levels of hype, and has the potential to change the future of the entire anime industry. The Japanese anime and manga industry is reaching global levels of penetration. Once regarded as a very niche form of entertainment, anime can now be found on every single streaming service, allowing audiences worldwide to discover new titles easier than ever before. With the popularity of anime worldwide, the international market surpassed the domestic Japanese market for the first time in 2020, in which we saw a 10% decline in the Japanese market, yet saw the overseas market grow to $11 billion US. Now that anime has reached this level, the amount of hype from fans has also reached unprecedented levels. Hype is a word that is used commonly among anime fans. Often quite misunderstood, hype is not necessarily bad or good. It's simply publicity or marketing, as you will. But hype, and especially overhype, tends to stir up some anime fans. I would know personally because of my previous video on Chainsaw Man's overhype. If you tell anime fans that their favorite series is overhyped, they'll take it as an insult to their whole bloodline. If you tell it to the production team, they'll take it as good marketing. Most likely free too. With anime's increasing global markets, the hype has now also been elevated. Anime has always been promoted heavily in Japan. Just take a stroll around Akihabara and you'll see why it's known as the anime capital of the world. And with the release of Chainsaw Man, the anime has been hyped up all over Tokyo, in high traffic areas like the major transport hubs of Shibuya and Shinjuku stations. There's even this 3D Chainsaw Man digital billboard on top of a building. But Japan is no longer alone in the anime publicity. Recently, One Piece was able to completely take over every single billboard in Times Square, New York City, the cultural capital of the US. All this publicity don't come cheap though. A single billboard could cost up to $50,000 US, but most likely more because some of these One Piece ads were huge. But keep that 50,000 number in mind because the Hashflag will blow your mind. It's not just the industry feeding the anime hype machine, it's also the fans which gather physically with meetups such as conventions and digitally across all social media. We've discussed hype and publicity in the physical world earlier, but what about digitally? One social media platform that anime fans use is Twitter. For better or worse, it has become a major social media powerhouse where anyone can freely share their thoughts. Twitter popularized the hashtag, a way for users to tag their posts and easily find other like-minded people. But then came the Hashflag. A Hashflag is a special form of a hashtag with a flag at the end of it, or as we call them, an emoji or an icon. Although hashtags can be found everywhere, Twitter is the first platform to introduce Hashflags. Okay, what's so special? You can always just type the emoji after the hashtag anyways, right? Well, not so fast. Hashflags aren't just normal emojis. They only appear when you use a special hashtag, like a hidden Easter egg. Hi Pochita, and bye Pochita. To a normal person, it may seem pointless, but to brands, it's a new marketing opportunity. Just as how billboards and digital screens can take over physical cities, these hashtags are the equivalent for social media, except much more viral. And with greater virality comes greater costs. These little emojis are so expensive that normal people or companies would never be able to afford one. Hashflags are used by all sorts of mega corporations and organizations such as Google, Fortnite, and even BTS. It's also used to promote large events. This one's literally putting the flag in Hashflag. And now we also have Chainsaw Man. It's estimated that one of these little flags costs up to $1 million. That is one overpriced JPEG. That was an estimate during the Super Bowl, the USA's largest sporting event, so prices may have been a little higher than usual. Yup, these little puppies don't even last forever. Sorry, Pochita. $1 million for a single day? That is just crazy. Because of the high price, you can say goodbye to your favorite flag in a few days. Usually. But you see, Chainsaw Man? These guys weren't playing around. They bought the Hashflag for the whole season of the anime. 3 whole months. And not only did they buy it for one hashtag, they bought it for 5. I don't think they have an unlimited budget, so they only bought it for the most hyped characters. A lot of my favorite characters are sad. Or maybe hashtag power is just too vague. There's also 5 additional ones in Japanese too, making a grand total of 10 hashtags. The Japanese ones have a different Pochita, or at least a different picture of them. These things are so expensive that there's only one permanent one, Bitcoin. And the only reason that's possible is because Twitter's founder Jack Dorsey gave it special permission because he loves Bitcoin. Surrounded by such large names, to have Chainsaw Man occupy 3 solid months is absolutely wild. However, Chainsaw Man is not the first anime to do this. The earliest occurrence I could find was Spy X Family with the hashtag spy_family. A more recent example would be the One Piece film Red movie. This one's budget must have been insane because not only do they have multiple hashtags, they also have multiple Hashflag emojis emojis for various characters. Forgot to mention, but the recent Dragon Ball Super movie also had one. The thing to note is that these hashtags are catered to the Japanese, as far as I know, but Chainsaw Man's hashtags are in both Japanese and English. Whoever it is behind this, it's clear that by doing this, they are targeting the entire global market with this decision, versus the more domestic approach of the previous two anime. Perhaps we can thank previous anime like One Piece and Spy Family, who laid the groundwork for Chainsaw Man's global debut. I do think the idea of a man with a chainsaw resonates much more heavily with a Western audience compared to other Japanese anime, and I think Studio MAPPA knew that as well, which may have inspired this risk. With such a large marketing budget, must have come as a huge risk, but MAPPA was ready to take it all on for the potential for far greater returns. Normally, anime production is handled by a production committee, which is a group of several companies who work together on different parts of the anime. Some companies like Funimation help with marketing the anime to an international audience. This minimizes risks, but it also reduces the returns from the anime studio. Now, it's not clear if MAPPA handled the marketing, but they probably have more to say since they own 100% of the production, and they are betting on it. And it looks like this is a winning bet. After the first episode aired, hashtag Chainsaw Man has up to 10 million weekly tweets on Twitter, and that's not including those other hashtags. I'm sure it'll go up even more as the season goes on. Unlike corporations like Pepsi or Apple, the anime industry does not have the money to spend on these. I mean, they can barely even spend it on the animators. However, unlike those traditional companies, anime fans are quite vocal and will often use social media for artwork, cosplays, discussion, and especially memes in the Chainsaw Man community, even with political propaganda. Combined with a talented and active fanbase, these marketing investments could pay off in a way that no traditional company could ever dream of. The hype created by these, combined with stan culture, is bound to change how fanbases behave in the future. There's gotta be a reason K-pop hashflags are also a thing. It's cause they know the fanbase will use them. Genshin and Impact also used them for quite a while, but their fanbase seems to have thought it was like a waste of money. Whether or not we see it as a waste of money for Chainsaw Man will be seen in the future, once the anime is finished. But by making this decision, it's clear anime means big business more than ever before. Alright, thanks for watching. This video is actually part 2 in my Chainsaw Man overhyped video, so if you want to look at that one, I'll put the link in the description if you haven't checked it out. You know, don't be salty like those other Chainsaw Man quote-unquote fans. Since you've made it this far in the video though, you probably have a big brain, or at least a long enough attention span. Those guys, I think they need to lay off the TikTok or something. But for real though, like and subscribe if you want to. Fun fact, this channel, I've made it 1 year ago, but I've only really been uploading recently. So yeah, if you want to be part of these early gains like my guy over here, yeah, hit that button. Peace.